officially, and almost. There we go. We're officially live on YouTube. Very nice. I like that. That's actually the riff I keep. In case you guys are wondering, the riff I keep playing, which is that little it is that riff is actually a part of. It's supposed to be a part of "Sweet Child of Mine." You can barely hear it, but if you downtune the guitar and you play this. This is the rhythm section that plays behind the slash in "Sweet Child of Mine." And it sounds like that. This is that's what's playing behind the slash. And what's up, everybody? I want to say hello to everyone who's new. I'm going to give sort of like an introduction to my channel, very brief. A lot of what I do is, or right now, the majority of the AdSense and everything for my channel is goes to charity and goes to good causes. This isn't explicitly a charity stream. I do have separate charity streams that I do. And we'll be doing one in the next couple of days. But a lot of even the donations that I get on my regular streams go to even those end up going to. And note that YouTube will take 30% if you donate on here. Unlike in the charity streams where I'll match the donations, right, with my own contributions. But any money that does get donated here, either way, it will go to something good. if you don't want YouTube to take 30% of it, I'd recommend I'd recommend going to the site, the official site for whatever charity you want to go donate to. But yeah, because that is true. YouTube does take a cut of the donations. But yeah. But I do still make contributions for my own other sources of income. They go to the stuff that my channel does, and we do a lot. Like, we support the American Heart Association. Yesterday we raised, some people donated $20. I think I misread it. I think he actually donated 15. I thought he donated 20, and I still matched the donation. And I donated another $30, so in total we raised like $70. Today we raised, I think, this was not a charity stream, so the $20 donation is and YouTube takes like 30%. So, but all of the money from the $20 donation, when YouTube does send me a check, we'll go into we'll actually make a whole production, right? So we're gonna make a video, and we're going to do something like some project where we go and help like a homeless shelter. Like, we buy stuff for a homeless shelter, and we go and we give a bunch of stuff to a homeless shelter, or something like that. There's lots of ideas that I've got, but it will go into a production. I was out at I just got out of the pour. Like, it was pouring outside. It's a long story. It is a long story, my friend. What's up? What is up, Nathaniel? I try not to. Well, here's the reason. I don't want to be disrespectful when I try not to be. I don't want to be disrespectful about, like, shouting out people and doing this and that and the other, but I don't want to I don't know. What was I gonna say? Isn't Another One Bites the Dust just like a... Which one is it? Where is it? Somewhere on here. I don't know. It's some like... Those are the first three notes, right? And then I'm like fucking tune deaf as fucking dog shit. So he plays like and I don't know if he's... Which one is it? I can figure it out if I like just fidgeted with it, but I'm very like... I'm very tune deaf. It's just two notes. So that's all I know. Is that it's still actually just two notes, and you play it, and it's very simple. I'm based off remembering the song. It's hard for me to remember songs and be like, oh, that's an A, that's a B, that's a C. Like, that's A, B, C, D, E, F, G, like which one it is, right? And once you get that down, it's very easy to play. It's a lot like it's just very important. And unfortunately, I have very terrible. I don't have very terrible ear training. I never have had good ear training, right? So it's always been a struggle for me to just have people tell me, "Oh, play a song," and go through my brain and just play it off memory, you know. But I know what you're talking about. It's very easy, for sure. I think I even nah, I don't know. It's very easy though. I promise. But yeah, no, bro. Earlier today, the reason my hair is wet, y'all, is because it was just like, how long have I played guitar for? I've been playing electric that long, but I have been playing acoustic for, yeah, it's just I don't know. I've been playing for 3 years, but like I've never really picked up ear training, and that's what's and it's I think that's what's I think that and doing a lot of other stuff like improvising over chords are some stuff I could work on for sure, because a lot of my improvisations I do over scales, right? Which is difficult to do, or at least it's hard to be good at improvising over a scale. Especially when you're playing on a backing track. You're not really even supposed to. You're supposed to improvise over chords. Right? Right? But, yeah, no, you're supposed to. I just practice, my friend. It just takes practice. That's what when I was taking lessons way back a long time ago, that's what they told me. I think the first step was play an hour every day for 30 days. It was like almost, it wasn't step number one, but it was like almost step number one. It was just play the guitar. Like, no matter what, like, you don't have to know chords or anything. Just, like, you'll learn that you just play the guitar. Practice, practice, practice. Right? That's the number one thing. I think that was the first thing that's the number one advice. I mean, later you'll obviously learn chords. And I'm sorry, I do go a bit fast. If you want something that's like slow, like if you want to hear like oh do 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 do, obviously my videos probably explain this stuff a bit better, or some of them do, not all of them. I have some pretty ugly videos, but I have some out there that are fairly slow, that are for beginners, or that are just for beginners. That's like that explain stuff well. You know what I mean? And basically, eventually, you learn chords and all sorts of stuff. Like I have a video that talks about playing chords, right? And it talks about the tips for how you're supposed to play them. And one of them is actually you're supposed to use the tips of your fingers, right? Yeah. You're supposed to use the tips of your fingers whenever you play a chord. So if I play like something like this, I'm not even doing this. I'm doing this with my fingers, with the very tips of my fingers. Alright, number 2. And that goes for, I'll just jump back. That goes for anything. So No. But with the tips of my fingers, sorry, I messed that up again. With the tips of my fingers, I can get more notes in there. Right? Then you want to focus on, and this is number 2, anchor points. How do I anchor my fingers onto the guitar without having them move everywhere and be like, blah, 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 blah. You know? There's a way to do that. The way we do it is we plant our finger and we try to anchor it on the very top string of the, if we're playing it like and usually I would have taught like the chords obviously, but like if we're playing this, see with my fingers here, we want to plant first the toppest string, the highest string, like towards the sky, right? And then we plant the other finger so that we have time when we're strumming down the guitar to plant that other finger. And even if you're a beginner, right, all that matters is just slowly making progress to get your fingers into these positions. You don't even have to be able to do it perfectly, just slowly making that progress. And that's what's important, really, is just progression and practice. But yeah, really probably practice. Practice, I think, would come first. But yeah, those are some of the number 1 tips for beginner that I would give to someone who's learning how to play guitar. Yeah, sure, man. If you have any other questions, like I know people ask about, what do people ask about? People ask, where should I have my guitar? Should I have it angled up? Down? Should I like have my thumb here? Here? All sorts of stuff. If you've got any questions, don't be afraid to ask, my friend. I'm not a teacher. Like I'm not like going to college for school, or not going to music college for music. But I'm not a music teacher. But I've definitely put lots of effort into making it easy for people to be able to play guitar. Like hundreds of videos about it, right? But yeah. How are y'all? If y'all have any questions, go ahead. I'm very open to any sort of questions. Yeah, I was just explaining earlier. I was teaching like basic guitar, like introductory. Like I could give a lesson, if you guys want, like a quick lesson on basic chords, and I think I reviewed some tips on how to play them, but basic chords and tips on how to play and switch between them. If you guys want, it's like introductory guitar lesson. So if you know absolutely jack shit about playing guitar, you might learn something. If you guys want, if anybody would like that, I would be more than pleased to do that. If y'all want a introductory guitar lesson, like a #1 guitar lesson, or probably pretty much like a #1 guitar lesson about, like, for a beginner, about basic chords and switching between them. I can teach that right now, but I don't know if you guys want to see that. Do you guys want to see that? I'm very open to any sort of suggestions, any ideas in the comments. What should we do? What should we do? I think I'm going to. What should we do? Sorry, I probably sound like I'm repeating myself a lot. What should we do, comments? What guitar lesson should we teach? Like beginner, I want to do something that's like catered towards beginners, like beginner friendly. What should we do? Just anything? Probably, I think I'm going to go ahead and teach that lesson on the basic chords. So, alright, I'm going to lift this guitar up like this. So, alright, let's start. So I'm going to try to go a bit slow. Yeah. So, these are, how many chords should I do? These are only a handful. So these are a handful of chords, which I guess one could, which are shapes on a guitar. This is a chord. This is a chord. 1 second. This is a chord. So these are different, basically they're like a shape. I don't want to say a shape because I don't want to make it sound complex. But those are like, these are like, this is like, I guess I'll call them a shape. They're basically shapes on your guitar, right? And I'm gonna show you guys a couple, going from most difficult, not most difficult, but most easy to most difficult. So we're gonna start with the very most beginner chord, E minor, which is where you start on the 2nd fret of the A string, right here at the very top, right here. And this is, don't worry about the string names. If you want to go learn them, I've got a video on my channel about it. I've got all sorts of, there's plenty of videos on the internet about them, but this is the shape for A minor, right? Not A minor, but E minor. This is an E minor, and that is the position you will put your fingers in to play it. The second most easy, you don't have to change anything. A sus2, right? You just scoot down one. These are, I'm pretty sure, it's been a while. Well, it's not been a while, but I actually got this as a gift from a family member, and I had it professionally tuned at a shop. So I'm pretty sure these are either light. I don't know what gauge strings these are. I'm assuming these are. I don't think they're heavies. These I've played with heavy strings before. These are, I don't believe, are heavies. So they're like mediums or lights. I don't think they're super lights. But so this is A sus2. No needing to change the shape between E minor and A sus2. Next chord, the fake G, beginner G. Is what I like to call it, sort of. And the end goal is to sort of get your ring finger eventually down to that string at the very bottom. It's hard to see right now, but eventually we'll be transitioning from the beginner G to an actual G chord. Then we've got and it's a bit hard to see, but this is A minor, right? Another chord where we don't have to change the shape to play two different of what are basically the same, not the same, but I'll explain it in a second here. This is an A minor, and this is an E major. You don't have to change the shape. You just have to shift. You just have to shift every finger up one. And those are four like very basic chords that are beginner friendly from easiest to most difficult. Right? And the number one tip, right? Like I said before, you probably heard me say it earlier in the video. Use the tips of your fingers. If I play that E minor and I don't use the tips of my fingers, I don't get what I want. Versus when I use the tips of my fingers, then I get a nice clear sounding chord. Same for any other of the chords that I was talking about. If you don't, if you don't use the tips of your fingers, you end up with a muted sound. Alright, next, I don't think I explained it before, is thumb position. When I'm playing like most chords, I wrap my thumb slightly over the top, but a general rule is whenever you're playing, and I don't want to go too much into bar chords right now, but a general rule of thumb is when you're playing like blues or you're not playing something like that sort of stuff, where your thumb is wrapped over the top. Your thumb should be right planted in the middle of the guitar neck. In the middle of the guitar neck. And you probably can't see it right now, but my thumb is right in the middle. I think that was number 2. Number 3 is, how do I angle my guitar? The way you angle your guitar is you're supposed to angle it at about if you ask Google will just tell you, oh, you angle it at a 55, but you angle it at a 45 degree angle. The angle what I like to say is angle your guitar to a point where your wrist is a bit above, not a bit above, but really, actually, I'd say probably flat. Not completely flat, so your guitar is down here, but flat, like you're trying to lift something up. So that the guitar is not like this, or like I'm trying to lift something up and my wrist is in a comfortable position. Overall, your wrist should be very comfortable when you're playing the guitar. Yeah. And yeah, that's a little lesson. That's from a little overview of some chords and some basic little tips, tricks on how to improve your guitar playing if you're a very beginner, if you're a beginner player. But yeah. I'm probably gonna get back to doing some music now. I guess maybe. I don't know. What do you guys think? What do you guys want to hear? Actually, I'm not doing. Or what do you guys? I have an idea. What do you guys want to see in future videos and future shorts? Given my channel is about comedic guitar content and teaching guitar, what would you guys want to see? And I've made hundreds of videos. What would y'all want to see? All right. I mean, I don't know. I feel like I'm gonna continue doing the comedic stuff, and I'm gonna also do some I'm gonna continue with long 5 to 8 minute lessons as far as my long formats go. But I don't know. They haven't gained much traction. Hello, my friend. I probably haven't shared very much. I've been ignoring. Yes, I am grateful. In fact, you've run into basically a very pretty much a charity. Not this isn't a charity stream specifically, but a lot of the revenue from this that penny right there, or 2 cents. I don't know how much that was. Will go to, most likely, if once it gets to me, it's going to. There's a 99% chance it's going to go to that it's going to charity project where we're going to be doing some. Yes, I do need a haircut. You know what? I will fully acknowledge that. I will not even. I'm not even nervous about saying whether I don't like. I will not even say I don't need a haircut. I do need a haircut, but we will be doing. Jesus, I feel like I'm repeating myself a million times. In the near future, not stream, but some sort of like maybe buying a bunch of stuff for a homeless shelter, something like that. So any of the rubies from this stream are gonna go to and I don't know if YouTube takes rubies. I think they take I don't know if they take half or if they don't take any. I think they take half. But or what was I gonna say? I'm sorry, it's just all caps. All caps. I don't know. I read something and I was like, I don't know. I was like, I don't know. I don't know what I'm thinking. But since this is the charity stream, I'm not matching donations, right? But during my charity streams, I do match donations, and any of the stuff donated now, even though I do know that YouTube does take a portion of it, but that does go to help with the along with AdSense from this stream and my other videos. It all goes to these charity projects, and I also contribute from other sources of income. Okay. What's the phrase in that, bro? What is the phrase? This kid. They say it's not Wingardium Leviosa. It's Wingardium Leviosa. And the reason is because it's split into three different, it's 3 syllables, right? Not 2 syllables. So it's Wingardium Leviosa, not Wingardium Leviosa. I don't know. You guys know what I mean. It is 3 syllables or something like that. It's split into 3 sections in the book. If you read the book, that's what it says. I think something ish like that. I'm not a Harry Potter expert. Leviosa. My guitar is gonna, they're gonna, in case you guys are wondering, Stairway to Heaven is a banned song, even on YouTube. So, if you play it in a live stream, they'll copyright your live stream. And they won't take donations, but they'll take income from the live stream. I can play small segments of it, but I can't play any big segments of it. So we can get away with playing small little sections of it, but if you play a big section of Stairway to Heaven on a YouTube stream, they'll copyright the stream and they'll take the ad revenue from the stream and they'll send it to someone else because it's copyrighted. I don't even think it's copyrighted to Led Zeppelin. I think it's copyrighted to someone else. Someone else owns the copyright on YouTube. Bro, copyright... If I say dog shit, am I gonna get banned on this stream? Probably. I don't know. But copyright rules are dog shit on YouTube. I don't know. YouTube's gonna ban me if I say too much more. But y'all know what I mean. Yeah, that is true. That is facts. Facts, Mr. Void. Mr. Void. Yeah, this is facts, Mr. Void. Oh yes, probably. I don't know. I think that YouTube has the like YouTube. The problem is, YouTube will ban. Nah, but bro, if you say it and you like, I feel like if you say it and you're like you have like a good cause behind your channel, like cause I don't want to be like Eric, like, cause my channel is very like much like a lot of the income goes to charity, right? I feel like if you have like a good channel and you say anything, they like attack you, bro, and they go after you. Versus if you're like some person who no one cares about, like, bro, it's like it's insanity. The rules. We've lost the rules. And at what cost? I don't even know. You know, I wonder. Nah, I'm pretty sure the kava, like, earlier today I was hanging out at like a kava bar. And this is a long story. I know a dude who owns a band, and they were playing down there, and I got invited over, and it poured on all the equipment. It's a long story, and it all nearly blew up. But yeah, I don't know. Today's just been a day, brother. Today's just been a day. Oh, bro, that's like half of what I do on these streams. I just rant, like I just talk. Cause if there's anything if there's anything I'm good at, it's like nonstop talking for hours about like random shit. Like I don't even know why or how I can do it. I can just go on for like infinitely. Like I don't even know. But like if you want to say something, like how are you, bro? How are you? What is poppin'? Not that like I don't know. I feel like yeah. I feel like you know I do have something that is very like intriguing, like maybe even based opinion though. You know, and that's that. I feel like why on earth like conversations on the internet, like or like conversations with like a. I'm not saying they're bad. In fact, I'm pretty much saying the opposite. I'm saying that like it's about personal information. Like how like nice, my friend. But yeah, it's like personal information is iffy on like on um, on the internet, and the whole topic is like, oh, I did do earlier. We are not. I think we did it for like. We went over chords. We went over like 4 or 3 tips about switching all a bunch of stuff. Just beginner lesson, but now is just improvisations, talking, vibing. What's up, my friend? What's up? If you want me to teach like another lesson, I can. Like maybe something a bit more. I don't know. I don't want to get too complicated, right? I'm not lefty. The screen is just flipped right now, so it is backwards. But yeah. And if you guys want to see another lesson, I'm 100% down to teach another lesson. If you guys want me to teach something else, like some beginner lesson on, let me think here. Let me think. What was the last one that I did? It wasn't thumb placement. Yes, I know a lot of people definitely get stereotyped. People who play guitar definitely get stereotyped sometimes. But what was the last? I did a lesson just a couple days ago. What did we? What was that? What was in that lesson? That lesson was about I'm completely forgetting what that lesson was about. Let me see. I think it was about. Let me see here. I could probably go and check, but I think it was about. Oh yeah, I remember. It was about the speed in which you practice, and it was about what else? A couple others, some other stuff. We could talk about that. We could do some basic stuff. Like I never did talk about like pacing yourself when you practice. If you're like, when I was a beginner, I would be playing tabs, and I would be like occasionally, like sometimes I'd be like bada 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 bada, and play a million notes at once. F, E minor. Yeah, sure, King. I remember that. I remember you. Yeah, sure. If you want me to use a certain strumming pattern, I can. I know there's all sorts of strumming patterns. I'm just gonna use down, down, up, if that works. So. So that's F, A minor, E, A minor. All right. F, A minor, E, A minor. All right. I think I got it. I don't. But what was I going to say? I was going to say I appreciate all of you. How long have we been streaming? I'm going to keep the stream going for. I'm not saying I'm going to end the stream. I'm going to keep the stream going for a bit longer. But I might end the stream in about 10 minutes. Yeah. In 10 minutes, I think the stream's gonna be over, y'all. Cause I gotta get sleep. I cannot be up infinitely. And just, yeah, I cannot be up infinitely, everybody. I gotta get sleep. Yes, right here, and right now here it is about 12:37 a.m. But yeah. Yeah, that's fine, my friend. Awesome. I remember I used to play chess a while back. I think what rank was that? Like 1200, 1600. I think around 14 was the best that I ever got. I couldn't get past 14. It was super hard. It's super hard getting past 1400 using, what's it called? It's like the queen something. Yeah, it's super hard because I used to use. You probably know. You're a 1600. You know. The it's. You're you're a 1600, my friend. You know it's the queen's. Something like that. Well, I'm sure. The thing about chess is it's a beautiful game, and it's all about practice, skill, and how you really contemplate the board, right? Um, for me, I think of chess not always as a quantitative game, but as a very figurative game also. Um, just because of the way things work in it, a lot of people think of it, again, very numerically when it's not all that, right? In order to be good at the game, you can't think of it that way, always. You know? And a lot of the best players don't. Some of them do, but not all. Yeah, it's been ages. Like a lot, I know ton. Like I feel like 99% of people, or a lot of people, I feel like a bit. Just so many people who I know personally. Um. Uh. Played chess growing up, or like they were in tournaments, and they did that sort of stuff. You know, or they were in like a club and they played chess. Even if it was just like, even if they weren't like in on like a team, they might have been in like a chess club. You know. But yeah. Let's see here. All right, we've got about, I think, 6 more minutes left. I'm gonna start to make an ending statement in the next couple of minutes here, and then we're gonna wrap up the stream. And I will be on streaming tomorrow. But yeah. Yeah. You know, I always. Thank you, my friend. Thank you. God bless. You know, I feel like. You know, I'm gonna. It's like we're about 3 minutes out from the end of the stream. I'm not gonna. If anyone would like to make some ending comments, ending statements, if anyone would like to say anything, we're gonna be ending the stream in 5 minutes, 3 minutes, something like that. Not like just a couple minutes. You know, y'all know what I mean. If anybody would like to say anything else before we go, Final. What was that phrase? Speak now or forever hold your peace. Something like that. Thank you, my friends. All right. If anyone would like to say anything else, going once, twice. Yes, that's true. Do not do that. Don't do that at all. I know that it's so sad. I feel like so many, I'll just say certain individuals and people like that are like just, people are just treated poorly nowadays, and it's wrong and awful, and people should do more about it, you know? Super sad. Thanks, y'all. Yes, I will wash my hair. We're getting a haircut in like a day or two. So I will have a fresh haircut. And it will be looking very clean. Alright. Stream is going to be ended in, and this is the last countdown, y'all. Stream is ending in 1. 2. 3. Alright. Peace out, everyone. Much love. Take it easy.